Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today's video is on the predictions for Meen Rashi 2023. So, if your Rashi is Meen, that is Pisces, what we call in English, then this video is meant for you. Do watch the video from the start to the end. When I say Meen Rashi, I mean as per your Chandra Rashi. That means in your Lagna chart, wherever the moon is placed, if the moon is placed or bearing the sign of 12, then you are a Meen Rashi. Don't go by the Western astrology. This is Vedic astrology, and I am predicting purely as per Vedic astrology. So, Meen Rashi, the 12th sign of this Brahmand, the end of this Brahmand. In the Kalpurush Kundli, number 12 falls in the 12th house, and Meen Rashi, when we speak about it, there is one word which immediately strikes my mind, and that is moksha, salvation, sadhutva. Since your birth, you end up at the 12th house, you end up at the Meen Rashi. That's why this Rashi is related to moksha. Jupiter is the lord of the Rashi. This is a watery planet, and the symbol of this Rashi is two fishes, floating against each other's direction. That's a symbol of this Rashi. I know many of my friends who belong to Meen Rashi, and I have found that they love to stay in the water. They just love water. Even when it comes to holidays, they decide that it has to be a destination which is besides a sea or a river. I know of a captain in the ship. He loves to be on the ship. He's a Meen Rashi guy, and whenever he comes back from the ship, he feels very out of place. And it's very evident that because he's Meen Rashi, so that's why he loves water, he loves the sea, and he likes to be on the ship all the time. So, on my experience of seeing Meen Rashi Kundlis, that is one Rashi which I could relate to very easily. So now, what is in store for you? Starting 17th January 2023, your Shani Sadesati is going to start. It's going to commence. The first charan of Shani Sadesati will be for the period 17th January 2023 to 29th March 2025. Now, before getting into any kind of conclusion or prediction, let us have some background. I have told in my earlier videos several times that Saturn, the god of time, justice, and punishment, he rules this Shani Sadesati, and any planet, if God has assigned Saturn the Lord of Justice, then a planet which has to give justice, he can never give you injustice. So, what is there to be afraid of during Shani Sadesati? If your karma has been good, if you have not hurted anybody intentionally, then you need not be afraid of anything. If you have not done any wrongdoing, then you need not be afraid of anything. But please remember, if you have hurted somebody, if you have strategically planned against somebody, if there has been some wrongdoing, then definitely I can say it with 200% that this period will be painful for you. Normally, astrologically speaking, when the Saturn is debilitated in your chart, so Saturn becomes debilitated in Mesh Rashi, that is Aries, it is a house of Mangal, Rashi of Mangal, that is where it gets debilitated. So, if Saturn is debilitated, or Saturn has its effect of malefic planets on it, or it is afflicted by planets like Mars, Sun, and Moon, or even having the drishti of Mars, Sun, and Moon, then in such cases Saturn becomes weak and the results are slightly unfavorable. And you will notice this in this period. Now, since I told you that in the Kalpurush Kundli, Meen Rashi, that is Pisces, represents the 12th house of the horoscope. So, unless you know what 12th house represents, you will not be able to actually deduce as to what is in store for you for 2023. What does the 12th house represent? 12th house represents losses. 12th house represents unnecessary expenses. 12th houses represent end of life, or you can say end of an era. One era gets completed, the other era gets started. You were in business, you turned 60, you retired, and you gave the key to your son. You gave the chair to your son. That is end of an era, end of life. So, end of life necessarily does not mean death, it also means end of an era. So, this also represents end of an era. Then expenses under charity, expenditure under charity is also seen from this house. Revenue from foreign land, settlement in foreign land, visit to foreign land, connect with foreign land, all this is denoted by 12th house. Bed pleasures, then you have separation from the family, going astray, withdrawal into retreat, transcendence, enlightenment, seclusion, imprisonment, hospitalization, expenses related to hospitalization, also working behind the scenes like a hospital, military zone, military headquarters, asylum, mental asylum, monasteries, NGOs. So, all these subjects which I am talking about are the representation of the 12th house. So, definitely you will have some connect, some results related to all the subjects what I have spoken about just now. As far as the body parts is concerned, it affects the left eye and the lymphatic system adversely. So, if Saturn is not placed in a favorable position, then be rest assured that left eye and lymphatic part of your body will get affected. Sadhasati makes you lazy because it starts from the head and it exits through the leg. So that's why it makes you lazy, it makes you sleepy. What you're supposed to do today, you will postpone it to tomorrow, or automatically it will get postponed to tomorrow. A very important meeting which you had planned for 10 o'clock in the morning today, for some reason it will get postponed to the next day, next week. Meen Rashi people should be mentally prepared for this kind of delay in times to come. Definitely for all walks of their life, delay is going to happen. Like I said, keep your passports ready because in this period, travel be there on your cards, especially long distance travel because 12th house, like I said, is foreign land. So, from the place of your birth to the place you travel will be quite distant and it will be easily noticeable, this travel thing. Now, since Saturn sits in the 12th house in the Meen Rashi, this will directly impact the second house by its third drishti. The second house, like I've said before, is the house for your kutum, is the house for your family, family assets, speech and communication. It also represents your eyes, it represents wealth and wealth accumulation. But in this period, the Meen Rashi people, because of their commencing Sadhasati, may get into arguments with their relatives, immediate relatives within the family, and that argument is not going to be productive, rather, it is going to strain your relationships. As Rahu will also sit in the second house in 2023 till the month of October 2023, and Rahu, it spoils your speech, it spoils your tongue. So please withdraw yourself from all kinds of negative conversations, from all kinds of bad words. Please assess before you speak because once you speak and what comes out of your mouth cannot be taken back. It may give rise to invisible enemies because of this bad speech, rudeness in speech, being insensitive to others, speaking something which is hurting others. Automatically, you will develop making invisible enemies. I'm sorry, invisible enemies. So be very careful because Rahu's position in the second house is not going to be favorable for you at all. In this period, starting 17 January 2023, you may have difference in opinion with your father, you may have difference in opinion with your boss. So again, like I said, please withdraw from that kind of a atmosphere, or you are sitting on a dining table and suddenly some subject starts, some topic starts which is very sensitive to you. Just walk away from there rather than indulging yourself into such mindless discussion or any kind of argument. Since from the 7th drishti from the 12th house will fall on the 6th house, it is prudent that you do not lend money to anybody in this period. Also, do not become the guarantor of any of your friend or relative in a bank loan. Do not become the witness in a court case. It may unnecessarily waste your time. It may unnecessarily, bring troubles for you. The good news is that if you are running a court case, if you are running any legal battle right now, after 17th of January, if you are a Meen Rashi person, the result, the decision, the verdict will come in your favor. So this is a good news because when Saturn looks at the sixth house, or when Saturn sits in the sixth house, it becomes a Raj Yoga. because Saturn in sixth house will always defeat in its his enemies. Saturn, Mars, and Rahu in good dignity in sixth house always defeat their enemies. Please remember that. So that way it is very good news. In case you have been suffering from a dreaded disease for last few years, then chances of coming out of that disease either through a very major surgery or any kind of um, treatment, it will definitely cure you and you will come out of that. Uh, your enemies will grow in this period because Rahu is in the second house. So be very careful in what you talk. It is better to withdraw yourself from any kind of argument. This I am repeating for the second time. Now, since Jupiter is in your Lagna itself, and Jupiter is a planet of knowledge, it will give you wisdom. It will make you decide in the right direction as long as Jupiter is there. And people who have been jobless after 17th of January, especially Meen Rashi people I'm talking about, the probability of you getting a job is very high, is very, very high. So do apply at all places, and you never know that after 17th of January, after Uttarayan, after Makar Sankranti, you may receive some good news. People or couples who have been trying for a child and have not been blessed, and if you're a Meen Rashi ascendant, then definitely this is a good time to have a child. As far as marriage is concerned, or if you have been a bachelor and if you have been seeking matrimonial alliance, then this is the right time to conclude a matrimonial alliance. And every time the alliance was getting rejected because of some dosh in the kundli or some or the other reason, you will find that this is the right time that your alliance will get concluded. You will definitely end up marrying a good partner, a good spouse. Now, I will just give you a small month-wise, very briefly. I'll touch that January 2023 for Meen Rashi people will definitely be profitable. February will be a bad month. Cash outflow will be bad. March and April will be good income for you. After April, uh, in the month of May, you may end up having some bad relationship with your friends, with your brothers and sisters. Be a little careful. Don't enter into any kind of politics, arguments. In fact, if you find an atmosphere of negative vibes, politics, just stay away from there. Don't become a part of that group discussion, or don't become part of that unnecessarily unproductive discussion in your office space or outside your office space or in your home, for whatever it is. Saturn will come and teach you many things, but there are few things which you need also to be careful about, and hence this video has been made to caution you against certain, certain issues which you need to be careful about. July is bad for pregnant women. June, like I said, you will have a new vehicle, purchase of a new vehicle, so that's good news for you. August, you will have victory over any pending court cases, or you will come out of any dreaded diseases. September, little fiery time amongst the couples, disputes amongst the couples, be respectful to each other. October, slightly low again, mental stress, headache, etc. November and December will be a good successful month for you. Remedies of Shani Sadasati, although per se it depends upon your chart, but the best remedy is to read Hanuman Chalisa, to install a Panchmukhi Hanuman at the entrance of your door. Make sure that you also do the jap in the mantra of Panchmukhi Hanuman. Plant a jamun tree in your house or in your flat if it is possible, and make sure you give the water on by yourself. And if you can donate black blankets on a Saturday along with mustard oil and black till, then that's one of the best remedies of Lord Saturn. With this, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to conclude my video, and thank you for watching. And if you have liked this video, please spread it amongst your friends. It will be of immense help to me to grow as an astrologer. I never say I'm an astrologer, I'm a student of astrology, and I'll always remain in the entire year of my life. So let's hope for the best. Wishing Meen Rashi ascendants all the best. Be cautious, don't enter into any arguments. That has been the main message through this video. Now my next video is on Mesh Rashi, that is Aries. Be prepared. Within the next 3 days it will be uploaded. Thank you so much for watching my video. Thank you.